stories of Jesus' ministry around the Sea of Galilee. And our story today starts in a boat. So come on in. Nope, you don't need to be Jesus today. So Jesus and his disciples, come on up in. They had been busy doing a lot of ministry. In fact, Jesus had sent the 12 disciples to go from city to city to city to preach and to cast out demons and do a lot of amazing things. And so when they all got back together, Jesus said, hey, let's hop in the boat. Let's go somewhere else and rest for a while. Because they had been so busy doing lots of important work. So they hopped in the boat. Turns out that all the other people wanting to see where Jesus and his disciples were going, they were tracking them. And so they saw, they got in a boat. And they're going over there. So all the crowds began to follow and try to get to where Jesus was coming. So when Jesus and his disciples got to the land, come on out of the boat. When they got out of the land, grab a seat over here. All of a sudden, all the crowds had gathered around Jesus. And Jesus and his disciples, who were planning to get some rest, all of a sudden had thousands upon thousands of people there. And Jesus, it says, cared deeply for the people. And so even though they were planning to get some rest, Jesus taught the people all day long. Now, because the people had just kind of in a hurry ran to where Jesus was, they didn't bring any lunches along, and they got super hungry. The disciples saw that, hey, we've been here a long time. They came to Jesus and said, you know what? It's getting late. I think we need to send the people away. Let's go tell them to go to the other villages nearby or send them back home and let them get something to eat there. But you know what Jesus said? Well, why don't you give them something to eat? Now, there was probably 10 or 12,000 people there. Do you think the disciples had enough food to feed everyone? No. Well, they looked and figured out how much food they had, and they had 5 loaves of bread. Okay? I don't even think 5 loaves of bread would feed all of you guys up here. And they had 2 fish. Okay? Do you think 2 fish would feed all of you guys? It wouldn't have even fed the 12 disciples. So you know what Jesus did? He did a miracle. He took those 5 loaves of bread and those 2 fish, and he blessed them, and guess what happened? The food began to multiply. And the people were sitting down in different groups. Jesus had the disciples take the food. They were in baskets, okay? Each of you take a basket here. I don't know how many kids we have here. We might have enough for everyone. Everyone get a basket. So the people were sitting down on the grass, eating lunch. The food kept multiplying, and more food kept coming, and people were eating and filling up their tummies, getting all full of food. And guess what? There was still more food. Jesus produced so much food that thousands of people ate, and there were still some leftovers. Do you know how many baskets there are here? 12. It said that they had 12 large basketfuls of leftover bread and fish. How many disciples were there? 12. Yeah. Do you know what this story teaches us? That first of all, Jesus cares. You know, the disciples wanted to send the people away. Send them away. But Jesus cares. He provided food for them. So Jesus cares, Jesus provides, and Jesus satisfies. They all ate and were full, and they were perfectly satisfied. And there were still 12 baskets of leftovers. It's a pretty amazing miracle, but it teaches us about how much Jesus loves us and how much Jesus can provide all that we need and even more. And when you know Jesus, you are satisfied in life. Thanks for coming up for the story.